Online can be just as personal, engaging, and socially connected as learning in a classroom. Students and teachers can stay in touch and help each other using conversations and can feel like they are meeting in person using live meetings. Teachers can track student progress in their daily work using assignments. No one needs to feel out of touch. Many students who learn online say they feel they have more of a voice and they feel more connected to their teachers and peers than they did in the classroom. And just like in a classroom, teachers can use the apps and functions of Microsoft Teams to support how they work best. Let's explore this further. Microsoft Teams is referred to as a hub. See why. Microsoft Teams is a digital hub that brings conversations, content, assignments, and apps together in one place, letting teachers create vibrant learning environments, build collaborative classrooms, connect in professional learning communities, and connect with colleagues, all from a single experience. Within Teams, teachers can quickly converse with students, share files and websites, create a OneNote class notebook, and distribute and grade assignments. Built-in OneNote class notebooks and end-to-end assignment management allow teachers to organize interactive lessons and provide timely and effective feedback to students. First and foremost, Microsoft Teams is accessible to all students and teachers on many devices: Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, web browsers, and tablets. Microsoft Edge, Chrome, and Safari are also supported browsers. Teams is truly device agnostic and works well on a desktop, browser, and a mobile device. The easiest way to get started is to log into dateschools.net through the portal, and we're going to walk you through how to do this right at this time. Just go into the portal and click the Office 365 tile. When you enter office.com, look for the Teams tile. When you click the tile, the Teams application will open in the browser. Please note that to get to the best Teams experience, teachers will need to access the application in a compatible browser. This means that the older version of Internet Explorer is not recommended. It is important to understand the ins and outs of Microsoft Teams. We're going to take you through a brief overview of the interface so you will know what to expect and what to do when you enter into a team. Remember, this is what you'll see after you click on the thumbnails from the Teams landing page. Let's start with what you'll see once you click the Teams icon from Office 365. This is what we refer to as the Microsoft Teams landing page. Here you will see all the teams you have created or have been added to. Just click the thumbnail to enter into a single theme. If your teams have already been created by the district, you will find your courses or your teams listed here as individual thumbnails. If the teams for your classes have not been created by the district, then you'll need to create your own. We'll discuss this in detail a little later on, and we will also review the steps to help you get your classes started. The image on this slide is a quick review of the main view of Teams. There are three main spaces to know when getting to work with Microsoft Teams. We will start with the Me space. The Me space is where you keep track of all of your apps and all of your files. This space includes two: the app bar and the left rail. In the app bar, this selects what you'll see in the left rail. This we'll talk about more in a moment. Notifications or activity lets you know when someone has communicated with you either through the app mention, chat, conversation, or through a comment. The chats are where you can communicate privately with faculty. Chat is only available between teacher to teacher. Students do not have chat enabled. Selecting teams here lets you navigate between the teams that you have, and it also allows you to view the channels that are a part of each team. This meeting button is where you can schedule meetings and see what you have on your calendar. The files is where you can see all of the files that you have access to across all the teams that you're a part of. And finally, assignments are where you can see the assignments that you've created for your students, and you can check to see who's turned in an assignment, and you can also return and grade assignments using this tab. There are more options available by clicking the ellipses. And then at the bottom, you can view items, applications that you can add from the apps. This is the left rail. The left rail reflects what you've selected from the app bar. When in the Teams app, you will see your channels in a particular team once the Teams is selected from the app bar. Here, we're going to understand a little bit about channels. Channels are the dedicated sections within a team that helps to keep the team organized. The organization of channels can be from specific topics, projects, disciplines, whatever works for the teacher and whatever works for the class. It is important to understand that each team comes with a general channel. That is a default channel. Teachers can add channels based on their classroom needs. Every added channel has its own posts, files, notes, and additional tabs that can be added. Channels can be open to all members, and channels can also be private. This is the canvas. This is where you will work alone in the me space and where you work together in the we space. The next space in Teams is known as the we space, and this is the we space, and it has the class navigation and the tabs. Some tabs are there by default. You will see the posts tab, which are the conversations. You will see files tab. When in a class Teams, you'll see the class notebook tab, you'll see assignments, and you'll also see the grades tab. Those are default tabs. Additional tabs can be added by the teacher and deleted by the teacher. In this next section, we're going to learn how to activate Microsoft Teams. There are two options when getting started with your class team. The first option is to activate. The second option is to create. Let's research in depth. When you log into Microsoft Teams, you may see class teams tiles. Each tile represents a unique class team that has been created for you and your students by the district. To open a team, select the team's icon, then select the team's thumbnail or card. If you do not see any tiles for class teams, please proceed to step 2 or option 2, and there you're going to create your own class teams. We will discuss this later as it is your option to. Before you activate your class, you're going to have the opportunity to customize the content that is available in your team for your students. Some of the things that you can do to customize your team include setting your avatar. This is where you can select an image that best represents your class. The second thing you can do is upload class materials from your device or from your OneDrive. These would be worksheets, these would be items for your students to have access to. The next step that you can take, which is optional, is set up your class notebook. If you are using class notebooks, you can add an existing OneNote class notebook, or you could create a brand new OneNote class notebook right from inside the Teams interface. The final recommendation for setting up your class is to add channels and add content into those channels. Every class team starts with a general channel. As previously mentioned, every team has a general channel. This is a great place to post how-to information for the entire class to set the tone for the virtual classroom. You are also able to create additional channels for specific topics. As teachers, you have access to your class team before your students can view it and begin participating. This means you have time to set it up, add files, and get organized before granting access to your students. Once you're ready for your students to access the team and you've added all your necessary content, you'll follow these steps to activate it. After you have activated your class teams, students will be able to see the content and interact with you in the channels and also in meetings. In the top of the canvas, there is a button that allows you to activate your class. Once you select that button, you will be asked to confirm whether or not you would like to activate. Once that button is pressed, your class is now activated. Now we will explore option 2, where teachers will create their own classes if they don't see classes loaded in the district. So again, if classes have not been added by the district, teachers will create their class teams by selecting Join or Create Team, and this is located in the upper right-hand corner when you're on the Teams landing page. So to get to the Teams landing page, you would need to go to the app bar and select Teams. And in the upper right-hand corner, select Join or Create Team. When the new window opens up, you're going to select the option to create a team. When teachers create a new team, they're asked to select from 4 options of teams. Because you are creating classes for your students, please select the classes option to create a class team. A class team comes equipped with assignments, gradebook, and a class note. Once a new class team is selected, you're going to give it a name. Include some variation of the subject you teach, your class period, and your name, the teacher's name, and that could be your class team name. You may or may not include descriptions. They are optional. The next step would be to add students. Currently, you can have up to 200 students in a class. Teachers, you may add your students right after naming your team, but you can also skip this and add students later. The best way to add students is to add them by their student ID number. You can add multiple students at once. After entering the last ID number, click the word add, just like you see in the image. Once you select add, the students will now be added to the class. In this next section, we're going to talk about the communication options that you have in Microsoft Teams. We'll start with Microsoft Teams meetings. One of the communication options is to have online meetings. You have the opportunity to host lectures and lessons and conferences with students. We're going to see how in this section. Here are some facts about having online class meetings in Microsoft Teams. You can have a meeting with up to 250 participants. You and your students will have audio and video capabilities. You are going to be able to share your screen and other content in the meeting. While in the meeting, you and students will be able to chat, ask questions in the chat. You'll be able to share files in the chat, and students and the teacher will be able to add reactions while in the chat inside of this meeting. Students will also be able to collaborate on lecture notes or class notes while in the meeting. While using the video capabilities, teachers and students can blur their background. Teachers can turn on closed captioning during meeting, which provides subtitles while they are speaking. Teachers can also record the meeting so that the meeting can be viewable to students who were not able to participate. Meeting recordings are stored in Microsoft Stream, and transcription is available for these recordings in Microsoft Stream. Finally, teachers can add polls to meetings. Teachers can schedule a meeting in Microsoft Teams right within the channel. They can click the Meet Now button, which is the camera icon, when they are in the channel. The camera icon is located at the bottom of the canvas. When selecting this option, students are able to meet immediately with the teacher. Teachers can also schedule meetings in the Teams calendar app. In the app bar, there is a calendar icon. Once you select that calendar icon, you'll view your calendar. In the top right, there is a new meeting button. When you select that option, a new meeting window appears. Fill in the information that is required for the new meeting, adding a title, adding your students, adding the date, the time. You can even choose to add this meeting to a particular channel, and you can also add meeting details. Once the meeting details are set, you click Save, and the meeting is added to your calendar, and a notification email will be sent to students to join the meeting. There are audio conferencing options also available in Microsoft Teams Meeting. This gives the students the ability to join a meeting from a regular phone and dial into a Teams meeting number that is provided. This phone number can be found in the calendar invitation, or it can be found while during the call by clicking on the ellipses, showing meeting details, and the number will be seen on the screen for the teacher to share. Next, we're going to look at your second option here for communicating effectively with students in Microsoft through making announcements in the Teams channels and the posts. So teachers can create announcements for students with personalized and colorful headings that draw the students in. And in these announcement posts, teachers can add text and media such as hyperlinks and attachments and more. And students can then reply to those announcements to get a discussion going. This is another way that teachers can advertise meetings. And when you are advertising meetings or you're wanting to post something for all the students to be notified of, don't forget to mention the whole group. To add an announcement, simply click on the Edit Text option at the bottom of the canvas or screen. It's the little A with a pencil. When the text box opens, find the New Conversation drop-down menu in the top left, and then select Announcement. Next, we're going to look at how to collaborate in Microsoft Teams. Teams goes beyond group communication. Teachers and students can have comprehensive collaboration, and one option to collaborate in Teams is through the Files tab. Teachers can add files and folders in the Files tab of a class team. Students can collaborate in real time on projects and learning tasks. The Files tab allows all files from conversations and any files that were added by teachers or students, they're going to be automatically saved in one place, which is under that Files tab. And the Files tab is located toward the top of the canvas, right underneath the search bar. While using files, teachers can provide ongoing feedback using comments. That comments feature is available in the Office files, in Word and in PowerPoint, and all teachers and students have to do is click the caption box icon that's in the top of the right-hand side when that application is open, as you can see from the images on the screen. Finally, teachers can add and share read-only files with students using a class materials folder that's automatically generated in the Files tab in a class team. This is a great way for teachers to share documents that students should not edit, such as their syllabus or their school rules or any resource materials for their class. To find the class materials folder, just click on the Files tab at the top of the canvas, and it's the second option to the right of the posts. Once you're in the Files tab, that class materials option should be the first folder that you see. Channels is another way to collaborate in teams. One way to use channels in a class team is to add a Q&A standard channel. A Q&A standard channel or Q&A channel for everyone to see. Think of it like a parking lot. This is a channel that's open to the entire class, and this is an area where the students and the teacher can have persistent chat that is viewable to the whole group and to the teacher in real time. Section talks about customizing with assignments and with tabs. Teachers can create and manage assignments for their students in Microsoft. Teachers create assignments for students. Assignment resources can be added to assignments, along with rubrics. A quiz from Microsoft Forms can also be added to an assignment, and teachers can manage their assignment timelines, their instructions, their resources, and much more. Teachers can access draft, assigned, and graded assignments right in the Assignments tab, which is located in the top of the canvas right below the search bar. When the teacher selects the assignment, they can grade it, they can make edits, or they can view the assignment from a student's perspective. They just have to navigate to the General channel, and then while in the General channel in the class, they select the Assignments tab, again, from the top of the canvas. By selecting that Assignments tab, they can choose any assignment to grade or to make edits or to view. And they can do so from the student's perspective as well. Teachers can assign work to a single student or even to a small group of students. Teachers can also assign work to one class or multiple classes using a simple drop-down menu. Teachers can grade assignments for students by selecting the Assignments tab, and then when they click on the assignment to be graded, they are able to view the submission from students. They can add feedback and they can allot points to that particular student's work. Teachers can view all student grades in the Grades tab. Again, this is in the General channel. This is where they can see completed and incomplete work of students. Teachers can select a student from the grades view to see their individual progress. This information can be exported by clicking on the name of the student from the gradebook and clicking on that export button that's in the top right. Next, we're going to talk about using tabs and teams, which allows teachers to further customize. Teachers can add website links, videos, sways, forms, and much more for students to have resources and guides. Teachers can incorporate engaging apps like Flipgrid and Wakelet. They can even use links from applications they utilize daily, like Discovery Education. They can link to Khan Academy. They can link to YouTube, and they can do all of this using the tabs feature in each channel of a team. They can connect third-party applications or other Office 365 applications that they utilize to build rich content for their students in a channel in the team. Our next section is about accessibility features in Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is committed to accessibility. There are no limits to what people can achieve when technology reflects the diversity of everyone. Now we're going to take a look at how Teams addresses the needs of diverse learners. The Immersive Reader in Teams is available in posts, assignments, and in Word and OneNote applications. Students and teachers can hear posts, they can hear chat messages, and they can hear assignments read out loud to them using the Immersive Reader. The Immersive Reader also includes grammar tools such as parts of speech and picture dictionary, and much more. In the images on the screen, you'll see where the Immersive Reader is available. In a post, click the ellipses and the Immersive Reader option is part of the drop-down. While in a Word document or even in OneNote under the View tab, the Immersive Reader is available there under the View ribbon. And while in an assignment, toward the top right of the assignment, that little icon is where the Immersive Reader can be accessed. Translator is another option that addresses the needs of the diverse learners that we. Students can find the Translator option by clicking on the ellipses for more options in a post. There they'll find inline message translation, and this is a feature in Microsoft Teams that allows them to translate messages into the language that they have specified by their in their personal language settings. They can also open Immersive Reader to use those translation options that are available in the Immersive Reader. Translate in Immersive Reader allows students to translate that text that they are reading into over 60 languages, and they are able to translate by word or by the full document, which you can see in the images on the screen to the right. Live captions and subtitles are also a feature in Microsoft Teams meetings, which is an accessibility feature. While in a Teams meeting, teachers can turn on closed captioning for subtitles to be visible for students. This option is available by clicking on the ellipses in the meeting tools bar and turning on those subtitles. And this video clip shows an example of that happening. As we come to a close, we want to share with you some resources that the district has provided to assist teachers and students with remote learning. The first resource is distancelearning.dadeschools.net. This is where teachers and students can go to view resources curated just for educators and resources curated just for students. These resources are available to educators and students on the page when they go in toward the top left-hand side. Within these resources for teachers, there's also a link to a course on the Microsoft Educator community about Microsoft Teams. You'll see this on the next slide. Transform Learning with Microsoft Teams is a 1-hour course where teachers can learn about Microsoft Teams and how it can be used in classrooms and schools. This is an opportunity for teachers to also earn master plan points by completing this 1-hour course. This concludes our presentation about Microsoft Teams. At this time, we would like to welcome back Dr. Ilia Molina.